investors. Watch their exceptional story only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome to Hot Money Technicals on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. This is the show which gets you a complete wrap of all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. I'm Darshan Mehta. Joining us on the show today are Kunal, Rambhia of The Street, technical analyst and mentor NS Fidai, and Raja Venkatraman of Chart Advice. Thank you to all of my guests for joining me on the show. Before we start with the show with our experts, let's go across to Yash Upadhyay, who has a chart on Canara Bank. Yash, what does this chart indicate?
Afternoon, Darshan. So a sell call coming on Canara Bank, and the formation of a bearish engulfing pattern is seen on the charts. Basically, it is the formation of a large red candle right after a bullish candle, wherein the body of the red candle completely engulfs the one ahead of it. Now, what we are seeing on the charts for the last 4 to 5 trading sessions, in fact in this week, is that with every large green candle is followed by a large red candle, and for the first time in the last 3 weeks, the stock is in fact giving a negative return on a weekly basis. And with the formation of a bearish engulfing pattern, we could see that the stock may come off from the levels that it is currently trading at.
Okay, so that's a sell call coming in, but if you backtrack this, what's the success ratio?
So Darshan, 4 out of the last 7 times that the indicator has turned negative and you went short on the counter, it would have given you positive returns of as much as 7% over the next 10 trading sessions.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on Canara Bank. So we'll ask our experts. Thank you so much for that, Yash. 277 is where Canara Bank is. Kunal, what's your view?
Yeah, the stock was actually in up channel, but today's session is showing that the stock is clearly falling. Closing of the day is closing near day's low would definitely trigger a short.
Okay, so at this level would you short or you?
No, I'll wait for the closing of the day. So if the closing comes near say 277, definitely I'll short with the stop loss of 282. And the target, then I'll keep it open till say at least 260.
Okay, fair enough. That's the view that's coming in. What about you, NS? What's your view on Canara Bank?
Well, you can look at 276 as a level. If it breaks 276 intraday also, you can go short and you can expect to cover it around 265.
Okay. That's the view that's coming in. And Raja, what's your view on Canara Bank?
Yeah, the pattern which is indicating bearish engulfing is emerging also on the weekly charts. So a move below 274 is what I would be waiting for. And below that, you could expect a drop towards 260 because the momentum is definitely weakening.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on Canara Bank. Extremely weak view coming in on the counter. But let's begin the stock discussion. Let's start with you, Kunal. And you have a chart on Bajaj Finserv. Let's get the chart on the screen. What's the view that you're getting? Is it a bullish call or is it a bearish call?
No, it's a bearish call as of now. So look at the entire pattern right from this level. You can see it's an expanding wedge formation which is going on. The price is made double top here and now probably heading for the lower side. I got the confirmation of negative side on 3 points. The first is the stock is clearly making head and shoulder formation here.
Okay.
Even if I exclude today's candle, yesterday was a breakdown.
Okay.
The second thing is look at the RSI. RSI is clearly in distribution pattern.
Okay.
And at the same time, if you try to plot the volumes on it, every uptick is gaining less volume compared to the downtick.
Okay.
So if I keep all things in mind, today's low is if at all is taken down clearly, we are heading for a much lower levels.
Okay, the lows today, what's the low today? It is 6312, I think.
So
it's pretty much at the day's low.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So would you short at this level?
I'll wait for the closing of the day.
Okay.
And definitely the closing as of now is looking near to the low itself. Keeping that in mind, I'll go short on the closing basis.
Okay, so if it stays at 6310, somewhat this level, you would short at the end of the day. What's the target if you short?
The target on the lower side will be at least the trend line, which is emerging at say 6,100.
6,100, and can this come very fast or it's more of a
Absolutely, this is a matter of couple of days itself.
Okay, and what's the stop loss that
the stop loss I'll place will be near to this level, that's 6,350 to 6,400.
Okay, just a word. What gives you the confirmation that there is a breakdown that's coming in? Because I've seen that whenever it comes down, it rises. So I just wanted to understand.
Correct. So now if you look at the entire pattern from here, here it is taking a lot of time near to the top. So that's a distribution form which is going on.
Okay.
And head and shoulder says whenever the neckline is taken down, that's a clear trigger or selling trigger.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on Bajaj Finserv. Thank you so much for that, Kunal. NS, what's your view on Bajaj Finserv? Would you
with
short?
Today's move, the stock has actually given a breakdown, and you can technically go short, and you can expect a target of 6,180 and 6,120 also.
6,180, 6,120. Okay, so it's would you short at this level, NS, or would you wait?
I would go short.
Okay, what about you, Raja?
Yeah, there's a clear RSI divergence. The trendline breakdown below 6400 does call for a short opportunity. So anywhere current levels rise towards 6400. The stop above 6450 for a drop to 6100. That's the expectation target.
So it's a triple thumbs down that's coming in on Bajaj Finserv. Before I move on, Kunal, not the most liquid counters on the F&O side. Is a similar pattern also seen in Bajaj Finance, because both of them seem to move in tandem. So someone who wants to play or more liquid or a high quantity game, should they go in for a Bajaj Finance short rather than a Finserv short?
So now I'm tracking Bajaj Finance also. On Bajaj Finance, you can see rising wedge formation. Now today's current market price, which is 24.95, if at all the closing comes near to that, then definitely yes, rising wedge falling, downward breakout will trigger even the same kind of fall.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on Bajaj Finserv. Again, if you're looking at Bajaj Finance also, if it closes near the day's low, that's the position that you take a short position on the counter. The next stock that we want to talk about is NS Fidai's first chart. He has a bullish call on Praj Industries, already moved up almost 10 rupees. What's the view? What's the technical indicator that you've used, and why are you bullish?
Well, if you see this chart, this stock actually had a very good resistance at this exact level, where it had tested again around this area. Okay, and in this month it has given a breakout just 4 or 5 days ago, and this is a major breakout on monthly chart.
Okay,
and we can have another chart which shows, like, the volume, and the pattern is cup and handle. If you see, it's a huge cup from here. It's a 10-year cup.
Okay,
and almost a year's handle.
Okay,
which has given a breakout, and the volumes are exponentially high. We have just completed 11 days of this month, and volumes are like, pretty highest for the last 1 year, you can say, or even more. So that gives me much confidence in this stock to go long, and you can expect this stock to go up to 190, 230 and 270 within 3 to 6 months also.
Okay.
Few targets will be like short-term targets would be 190, 130, 230.
Okay.
And you can say longer-term target would be 270.
Okay. What's the stop loss that you would keep?
Well, seriously, my stop loss actually would have been too deep the way today it has moved. Rather, I would say you can buy now and keep adding on the dips.
Okay.
And you can buy up to 120.
Okay.
And keep a stop loss at 118.
118. And how soon do you expect your targets to come in? 190 to over 200?
190 should happen within 3 months.
Okay, that's a bullish call.
That's a very
just explain this concept of cup and handle. What are you seeing here? And
see, if you see, this cup and handle is a huge pattern where the stock has corrected, and this whole it has dropped to this area of almost like less than 50 rupees.
Okay.
And then again it has come up. So the area between the lowest point on the trough to the you can say neckline of the cup and handle. So that would be the major target.
Okay.
So if we extrapolate this, it goes up to around 230.
Okay, 230.
First thing.
Okay.
And because the lifetime high is around 270.
Okay.
And the whole pattern is now you can say becoming into a rounding bottom. So rounding bottoms usually achieve the lifetime high levels or the rounding top levels.
Okay.
So that is what we are looking at. And cup and handles, usually you should watch out for breakout with huge volumes.
Okay.
The candle, when it gives a breakout, shouldn't be a very small and weak candle. It should be a strong and big candle. Okay. So that's what is happening right now.
So it's moved up with volumes, that's what you're saying?
It's moved up, and it's moved up very strongly from 120s to almost 150.
Okay. Thanks so much for that, NS. We'll watch out for Praj Industries. Kunal, you have a view on Praj?
So what he's trying to highlight is the perfect thing. But right from 272, it came down to around 35, and from 35, it has right now reached 147. The significant uptick was in the couple of weeks itself. So I would wait for the price to dip, because the present level is near to 50% Fibonacci retracement level.
Okay.
So I would wait for the stock to come to 125, 130. Undoubtedly, it's a buy on dip kind of stock.
Okay, what about you, Raja?
Yeah, I would agree with NS, because it's a strong breakout over a multi-month time frame. And one should actually be looking to buy at current levels and also on dips towards 125 region. Stop below 115 for an upside towards 200.
So it's a consensus view that's coming in from our technical analyst on Praj Industries. A consensus buy call that's coming in. Positional buy call is something that you need to watch out for. The next stock that we want to talk about is Torrent Pharma. Raja has a bullish view on it, and for the record, it's trading at record highs currently. So what's the view? It's almost at record highs. It's trading at a 52-week high. What's the view?
Yeah, so what I've seen in Torrent Pharma is it has been on a continuous upside, and the steady higher lows it has made has actually built a good strong bullish momentum. And now you can see that despite seeing some weakness in the markets, it has consolidated at higher levels. And today I have used this concept of pitchfork where I have used this trend line. And what it has done is this week, this is a weekly chart, and it has crossed this trend line resistance. And now a closing above this, so you can buy at current levels also. It's indicating that it has got more upside potential. Plus, I've used momentum indicators of ADX and DMI, and this is indicating that the bullish strength is now building up.
Okay.
So all this in conjunction calls it for a strong buy opportunity.
Okay, what's the target? It's at 1873. What should you buy now?
Yeah, you should buy now for a person who looking at the immediate term can look at a target of around 1930.
Okay.
And then there is further upside of 1980.
Okay, and what's the stop loss?
The stop loss will be below 1800.
Okay, so here you can see that there is trend. Can you explain how this pitchfork came in? What's your logic of using it?
Yeah, I've drawn it from the entire base which it had formed. From that low, I've used it to its previous high. And what it is trying to do is it is trying to draw a channel, and now we are seeing that this channel is broken out at this juncture. Plus, momentum is building up.
Yeah, explain this momentum also, what you mean by this for our viewers so that they can understand.
Correct. So here this white line is the strength of the momentum.
Okay.
This green line is the positive direction, red line is the negative direction.
Okay.
Now we are seeing that the green line is actually going up, and then this white line is also inching up, which is a strength.
Okay.
So the strength of the bullishness is increasing.
Okay.
So that is actually propelling the prices higher.
Okay, so that's the view on Torrent Pharma. Thank you so much for that. Let's get in the other views also on Torrent Pharma. NS, it's a trading at record highs. Would you buy?
I would prefer to buy on dips seriously. It's a positional buy actually. It's looking very good on charts, and I would prefer to buy it on dips around 1780-ish, or no, sorry, 1820-ish, and keep a stop loss below maybe 1780.
Okay, that's it. So buy on dip. What about you, Kunal?
So right now the stock is trading near to the September high of again 1875. If at all it manages to surpass that level significantly higher, then definitely it's a jump and buy situation. Otherwise, I would wait for the counter to come down to 1800 and then accumulate at the lower level.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in. Again, it's a bullish call that's coming in from all of our guests, but the strategy seems to be slightly different. While Raja says buy at this and buy at lower levels also, the other guests are saying that they would wait for a little bit of correction that would come in to buy the counter, but nevertheless, it's again a consensus bullish call that's coming in on Torrent Pharma. Let's begin the second round of chart now. Kunal this time has a chart on Kotak Mahindra Bank. It's been a while since this was discussed because it's been an underperformer. Is it a buy? Is that a sell? What are you?
No, it's absolutely a bearish sign again.
Okay.
So, this time we are getting all bearish calls actually. Reason being the Bank Nifty itself is weakening. Now look at from the top to the bottom. The stock exactly halted at 61.8 Fibonacci retracement.
Where?
Here it is. This green line is the Fibonacci retracement of 61.8%. Okay. Look at the entire formation. It is forming a symmetrical triangle formation. Yesterday it gave a closing below this line, which was a confirmation. Today is a follow-up selling again happening in the market. Look at the RSI. You can check out that RSI is again weakening and going lower. Keeping all things in mind, it would be a perfect sell at the present level itself. And I'll definitely keep a check whether the closing of the day is turning near to low itself.
So would you short at this level only?
I definitely short at this level itself, and if the stock goes up till 1235, I'll keep shorting the counter.
1235.
Yeah, so that's this particular level where it is retesting the level.
Would you square off at that level if it goes above it?
I'll definitely keep shorting more at 1235. Present level also, I'll short at 1235. I'll keep the stop loss of high, which is 1270.
Okay.
I'm expecting the stock to reach 1100 mark.
1100. So that's a big drop that you're seeing.
Yes, at least the beginning of this symmetrical triangle pattern. Here is the beginning of it.
Just give me your rationale that why it could drop all the way. I can understand that it's gone below this line, it could slow down further. But why do you see a vertical drop on this?
So no, vertical drop, there are two reasons behind it. The first is that you look at the higher top, higher bottom formation which was made here. It's again into distribution kind of formation since like almost a month. Okay, the volumes are picking up again on the selling side rather than on the buying side. And generally 61.8, which is a golden ratio in the Fibonacci series, is acting as a resistance mark. And stock continuously tried going above this level but could not. So now I'm expecting the stock to make a lower top, lower bottom formation. And as per the symmetrical triangle formation pattern, generally the price reaches the emergence of that level.
Okay.
So that's coming at 1100.
Okay, fair enough. That's the view that's coming in on Kotak, a negative view that's coming in because Kunal himself is negative on the Nifty bank. NS, what's your view? Kotak, would you short?
Yeah, I would go short below 1200, okay, and look at target of 1170 or 1160.
Okay,
so
that's
below 200. I would be like
below 1200. You would short. What about you, Raja?
Yeah, I would not prefer to do anything to Kotak because all the banks are spending some time in arranging action right now. So I would prefer to stay away from doing anything in Kotak.
Okay, just a follow-up questions on this. Kunal obviously spoke about his negative view on the Bank Nifty. I also as negative on the Bank Nifty. NS, you go first. Are you negative on the Bank Nifty?
No, seriously, I'm I'm wait and watch kind of situation right now.
Okay, what about you? I think you also have a similar view.
Yeah, neutral on Bank Nifty, but negative on Nifty.
Okay, Kunal, ideally, what's your view on the Bank Nifty? How negative are you? Because you're saying that it's a sell on Kotak. Kotak has been range bound. What's your overall view on the Nifty bank?
So, the way we discussed in the last event itself, the Bank Nifty is clearly forming the rising wedge kind of formation. There was a trap bounce a day before yesterday where, it gave a positive closing. Yesterday was a negative and today again we are heading for a downward rally. We discussed about the level which was 26,850. Below 26,850, I'm expecting the Bank Nifty to fall by at least 1,000 points over the period of time.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. Let's get in the second stock from NS and that stock is ONGC. NS, what does the chart indicate? Does it indicate weakness? It hasn't done much. If you take a look at ONGC over the past years, hasn't done much. Very lackluster.
Yeah, seriously.
What's your view?
The stock is actually not able to sustain about 200 DEMA. I think this line or 50 DEMA, it is not able to cross this area. So that is the reason. It is on the chart, it is always facing resistance around this area. And today, last 3 days, it was in the downtrend. Today, it is holding out in this area. I would prefer to go short around 146 and keeping a stop loss above 147.50 and or go short below 142 for a momentum trade. And that would give us around 4-5% within the momentum itself within a day or two. And see, this is the support that is happening. It's like a triangle, you can say. And the triangle could be the target is quite high, but what I'm looking at is extreme short-term trade play.
Okay.
Because other stocks are trending higher compared to ONGC in the energy sector.
Okay. Why can't it bounce back from this level?
Well, see, it has already given a breakdown. Still, today also it made an attempt and it couldn't sustain over there. If you see, this was 145 approximately, and right now it is closing, trading below that. So this line is acting as a very strong resistance right now currently.
But you would short only above 146.
Around 146.
You won't short at
or
this
below
level.
142.
At this level, you won't.
At this level, you can go short. Only thing is your risk reward would be the stop loss would be a bit higher.
Okay.
So if you want to have a proper risk reward, go short near 146. So you have a risk of only 1 rupee 50 paisa.
Okay.
And if you go below 142, you don't have to worry about stop loss only because it will start falling instantly.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on...
And it could touch 135 probably in extreme short term.
Okay, so it's a bearish view that's coming in on ONGC. Raja, ONGC, would you short?
If you ask about the momentum indicators, they are weak, but price action is not showing much of interest to actually go down. So unless it moves below 140, I would not be a seller in ONGC.
Okay, what about you?
The stock is actually in the range of around 142 to 150. So any side directional movement or say trigger would fetch a rally. So I'll wait for 142 breakdown, and below that I'll start shorting.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on ONGC. NS is a negative view, but the other two guests would wait for a direction either on the long side or the short side before the key resistance or the support level is broken before taking a trade. And the last stock, at least from a guest, and before we get in Yash again, it's on TCS, the top loser on the Nifty today. It's down 45 rupees. It's at 1800 and it's below the 1850. And surprisingly, the TCS has gone below the 200 DMA today. Is that a trigger that you looked at?
Yeah, that's one of them. But looking at, despite having positive results, the stock is not actually reflecting the same, even in the last quarter.
It wasn't a positive result, it was a weak result.
Yeah, they just flashed it, but it was actually mixed. But the whole thing is that the whole prices are actually speaking ahead of. Yeah, you should short at current levels.
Okay.
For a downside towards 1780 if he's a shorter term player. If he's a longer term player, targets around 1735. Maintain a stop loss above 1930.
About 1930. So that's the risk reward that you're looking at. Okay, thank you so much for that, TCS. And what's the indicator that you've used? RSI, right?
Yeah, I've used RSI and I've used a trend line breakdown.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Raja. Kunal, would you short TCS?
So now look at the daily movement of the counter. This counter was in clear channel formation. Probably market was waiting for the result outcome. Now, breakthrough has definitely happened. The volumes are happening on the counter. As of now, it's a clear short. But below 1800, it would fetch, more momentum. So right now, if someone is going short, wait for, it would be advisable to cover near 1800 again.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. What's your view?
Yeah, I would cover my shorts if I'm short right now around 1785, 1790, because that seems to be a good support area. You can go short right now also at this level. Because it is trading below 200 DEMA after a long time. But the important thing is if it closes below 200 DEMA, then the momentum could be much higher and the stock could see even lower levels also.
Okay, fair enough. That's the view that's coming in on TCS. And finally, before we end the show, Yash comes back with his final chart. Yash, which stock are we talking about?
So Darshan, we are tracking M&M Financial on the charts and we're using the proprietary Bloomberg indicator, which is the trender indicator now. The signal is yet to take place because the trender line, which is the one in green over here, that is very close, within 1% of changing its color. So the stock is down in today's day of trade as well on the back of heavy volumes, very close to the lowest point of the day, and that is very close to where the trender line is. So the green line, it ends at about 447 and the stock is at 450.5. So should it manage to close below the mark of 447, the trender line would flip its color from green to red and we could see further downside coming into M&M Financial.
Okay, and Yash, if all the past instances we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 7, 8 instances that we can see in at least in the last 1 year, how much % return would they get you?
On an average over the next 10 days, Darshan, one could watch out for returns of close to 4.5% on the downside.
Okay, that's the view. And just to make a point clear, that the trender downside is at 447. So what Yash is saying, if the stock goes below 447, then only will the line change. Until there, it's not happening.
And it has to close below 447.
Okay, it has to close below. Thank you so much for that, Yash. M&M Financial.
So now, since a month, this stock is clearly in distribution pattern. The inverse cup and handle is also formed on the chart. The trend line for that is coming at around 450. RSI indicator is turning weak, extremely negative. So closing near to the day's low itself, I would go short and keeping the target of 420.
Below what level would you go short?
450 on the closing basis.
Okay, below 450. And so would you short M&M Financial?
I would agree with Kunal. It's very much whatever he said is almost like what I feel. Below 450, the stock has potential to go to 420 or even lower, because this stock is very high beta. It keeps on oscillating very sharply. So earlier also it had risen very fast in just 4 or 5 sessions. It had covered from 370 to almost 480. So when it falls also very sharply. So even 420 would be just one of the points. It could go even deeper.
Okay, that's the view that's coming in. Raja, what's your view?
Yeah, we could short now or also on rally towards 460, stop loss above 475 for a drop towards 420 or 400.
Okay, and when you mean, Kunal, you mean by short on when you're looking at the closing basis, you'd ideally mean by around 325 or something like that level?
By 325 we get a rough sense of whether it's closing near to 450 or that range itself.
Okay, so you won't wait for the trender indicator turn. For your charts, 450 is also a level, both of you, that you would
absolutely.
Okay, so that's the view that's coming in on M&M Financial, a short, and this is on a closing basis. If it closes below 450, according to our guests, you should short. The trender indicator is 447, not too much of a difference. So, but the overall view seems to be on the negative side. But with that, it's a wrap on today's edition of Hot Money. Kunal, NS, Raja, thank you so much for coming into the studio and giving us and helping our audience to learn much more about technicals and trade on their own. But Ask BQ comes up next. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.